So now that the basics for our zombie kind of killing system is working, we want to go ahead and start working on the rounds. So that way, whenever all the zombies die, we will have a little break and of X amount of time, and then they will respawn. So that way it starts the next round. And I kind of want to disable their simulation after a certain amount of time of them laying on the ground, so that way they quit that little twitching. So my thoughts on this was we have a total uh, kind of amount of zombies, just a control variable for that. So if that current amount of zombies ever reaches 0, we can go ahead and actually, what do you call it? We know that the round's over, so it's going to be kind of our control variable. We're currently in our game mode. Let's go down to spawn zombies. So we go by if zombies remaining is greater than 0, and then only if the zombie spawn is valid will we actually go through and decrement zombies remaining. So this is going to be where we do it. So I'm going to get rid of that comment, and let's make our control variable. So it's going to be a protected variable. Let's put it as, oh, what should it be? Yeah, we'll just use uint 16. That should cover well over the range. Total zombies in round, I guess. And let's set this as a default of 5. That'll just be for the first round. So let's make a getter. So we're going to return a uint 16, total zombies in round, and return total zombies in round, like so. So now that we have that set up, and I still forgot to undo IntelliSense. Already been declared. Can I not use the same name, I guess? All right, let's just call it get. Yeah, all right, so we have get total zombies in round. So first round will be 5. So let's see, zombies remaining, where are we defining that? Zombies remaining equals 0. Calculate zombie count. So we go based off of the round number. So we have our do calculation here comment. This is where we're going to figure it out. So we're not going to do that just yet. We're going to do a very basic system where we continually spawn 5 each round. So I kind of want to remove, let's see. So let's create a setter function. So void set total zombies in round, be a constant uint 16 zombie count. And we really don't need to make a copy of it. We can just pass it by reference. And let's generate the implementation and set total zombies in round to equal zombie count. So let's see. So we're going to get the round number. We're going to do our calculation. So we're just going to set it as, zombies remaining equals 5. Then what we want to do is zombie game state set total zombies in round to zombies remaining. So that way we have a constant variable, well, the variable that's going to be constantly the same throughout the entire, well, at least from the start. So that way every time we get a kill, that total zombies in round gets decremented. So what I'm going to do is void zombie died. And what I'm going to do here is subtract from total zombies in round. And I do want to set this to replicate, so I'm going to just comment set to replicate, and also set to replicate, and set to replicate. So that way, whenever we set up a round number or a round indication in our interface, we can see this. If we first ever want to have this variable be displayed somewhere, like as a little added feature or something, and same thing with the zombies remaining. I kind of want to change this to total zombies actually per remaining. That sounds a lot better. So set total zombies remaining and get total zombies remaining. Let's change that up. Total zombies remaining, and total zombies remaining. Let's go back to the CPP and set total zombies remaining to zombies remaining. I don't want the calculations to be done on the game state. I'd rather have them be done in the game mode, as in my opinion, it just makes more sense. And we are, okay, we're good to start continuing. So this is based off our zombies remaining. So every time a zombie gets a kill, so we're gonna go to zombie base. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get the game mode. So decrement health, we call our function called die. Here's our die, and what we're gonna do, and I apparently need to fix something. Let's do get game mode and do zombie decrementation, I guess. That's a word, maybe. So in the game state, line 11, I forgot to change the constructor. So total zombies remaining equals 5, and now we're good to compile. I'm gonna go ahead and actually close the editor down. So in zombiebase.cpp, we're gonna go ahead and get the game mode. So if a Nazi zombie game mode, or just GM equals, it allows me to include it. Did it include it? Just about. To keep it consistent, I'm gonna do world at war, public, and then keep the path. I like that. That's a cool thing with ReSharper. I didn't know it could do that. So now we need to do get game. Let's not get game mode. Maybe it's off of the world. So get world, get game mode, or get authoritative game mode. And is this a template? Yes, at least it seems to be. What we're going to do is GM. Well, let's make a function first for it. So it's going to be public. So void zombie killed. Create the definition. And if the zombie's killed, we're going to do if zombie game state. We're going to do zombie game state. Zombie died. Although I hate how it fills out the parentheses for you. So now in our zombie base, we're going to do GM zombie killed. So I guess actually to keep the naming better, let's change from zombie died to zombie killed in our game state as well. Sorry that I'm kind of going all over the place with this. Like so, just to keep the naming consistent. So now anytime the zombie dies, it should be updated in the game state. So I'm going to print it out. Zombie has been killed. And I want to get rid of some of these logs in our zombie base. They're not really needed. We know kind of, for the most part, everything's working. Okay. So now when the zombie dies, we call the function zombie killed on the game mode. That function then goes to the game state and calls zombie killed. zombie killed decrements from total zombies remaining. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply print out a log. So UV log, let's call it zombies remaining. We're going to do zombie game state, get total zombies remaining. And I'm going to go ahead and compile. And because I've been bouncing around a lot back and forth, I'm going to go through and kind of step by step what we've done here. And I probably end up going to a two-parter. How long have I been recording? 10 minutes. Okay, I can probably squeeze it up. I'll squeeze out the rest of it pretty quick. Okay, let's give it a try and see if it prints this out. So we know we start with 5. Okay, get a kill. Zombies remaining 4, 3, 1, 0. So here's what we're going to do our check. So let's go ahead and copy get total zombies remaining and do if get total zombies remaining equals 0. What we're going to do is we're going to start a new round. So this is where we're going to want to do it. So start new round. So we currently have round number, we have get round number and increment round number. That should be, yeah, it's already set up just to increment it. So let's do zombie game state, increment round number. And from here, we need to think about what we're going to do. So do I have a function to calculate the zombie? Yes, I do. So we're going to call calculate zombie spawns. Calculate zombie count, sorry, which we created on our game mode. And what I want to do, I want to actually move this down near the bottom under zombie killed. So that should allow 5 more to respawn, but I want to do a delay for this. So I'm going to start a timer. So F timer handle, temp handle, get world, get timer manager, set timer, temp handle this. We're going to go through a Nazi zombie game mode, calculate zombie count, and then the delay we want is going to be 5 seconds, and then false because we do not want the function to loop or the timer to loop. So now let's compile, and we should have the zombies start respawning for round 2 after 5 seconds. So we'll have a 5-second break, and then zombies will be respawning. So we can set up this variable here, the in rate for 5, set that to be a blueprint variable that we can easily change, so that way we can customize how long we want to have between rounds. Just make it easy. Okay, let's give it a try. One more. That should be the last. I'm going to go and open the door. Form is to be 5. Okay, I'm going to go with the assumption that it is not working. So let's check it. So we can first start off by let's actually check calculate zombie count. Okay, so we're not actually starting the spawning again. So let me see how I set that up previously. I also want to move spawn zombie down towards the bottom above calculate zombie count, again to keep it neat. Then we have minimize what we don't need. Don't need the spawn points, don't need post login or the zones. And okay, so we started up in begin play. What we did in begin play was we started the timer that started the zombie spawning. So what I'm going to do is I want to copy this and remove it out of begin play. I'm going to put it inside of calculate zombie count after we set the total zombies remaining. So from here inside of begin play, I'm going to calculate zombie count like so. So let's see. I don't really need you anymore either. Get rid of that log. So now inside of begin play, we call calculate zombie count. Calculate zombie count, then, when we ever do our calculation, we're just setting it to 5 for now. So we're setting the total zombies remaining to 5. Then we're starting a timer that calls spawn zombie in a loop. So inside of spawn zombie, what we do is we check if zombies remaining is greater than 0. If it is, we continue on and we will go ahead and spawn the zombie at a random spawn point. And then after, zombies remaining is less than 0, what we do is we pause the timer because we no longer need it. So what I want to do, actually, instead, this is a better idea. We're going to pause and unpause the timer so that way we're not having to constantly reset it. Sorry. So I'm going to copy the timer and calculate zombie count, move it back to begin play. And what it's going to call is calculate zombie count, like so. And then inside of calculate zombie count, what we're going to do is we're going to unpause the timer. So get world, get timer manager dot unpause timer, and we're going to use the T zombie spawn handle. That's what we're going to unpause. So now we need to make sure we pause the timer. Well, actually, let's think. So we call calculate zombie count. That unpauses the timer. Well, actually, let's see. We want to set the timer and then we want to pause it. Okay, so we set the timer, then we pause it. Then what we're going to do is simply we're going to call calculate zombie count, even though the timer is kind of doing it for us. So what we want to do is for the oh, have I just completely screwed myself here? Okay, let me start from the top. So we have calculate zombie count, then we'll unpause a timer that calls spawn zombie. Okay, so T zombie spawn handle calls spawn zombie. We then pause that handle. Then we call calculate zombie count. Calculate zombie count then gets however many zombies we want to spawn. Then it unpauses the timer for the zombie spawn count, or the spawn zombie function. Then it goes through and spawns them. Once it's done spawning, it'll pause that timer. Then once all the zombies are killed, we start a new round. We increment the round number. We create a timer manager, a timer to delay the time that's going to take to start the zombie spawn again. So it calls calculate zombie count, then goes through, sets a new zombie count, and then unpauses the spawning timer again, allowing more zombies. Okay, we are good to go. Sorry about that. I kind of got my head a little clustered up. Let's see, how long am I at? 18 minutes. So hopefully this will be good to go, and then I can just do a quick step-by-step through what we just did. And yeah, then we'll be done. And I can move on to the next video. I know this has been a heck of a lot of back and forth. Alrighty, let's give it a try. All right, so that was the last zombie. 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5. There's a zombie. I'm going to open the door. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is the last zombie. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5. There it is. There's then more zombies, and our zombie bodies are starting to now despawn. So we are good to go, thankfully. Now let's read over what we've done. So starting from the zombie base. When the zombie dies, what we do is we call the function that's on our game mode. Again, we are on the server currently. So we're going to call zombie killed on the game mode. Now what that does is we check what we call zombie killed on the game state. And zombie killed essentially just decrements from our total zombies remaining. So however many zombies there are supposed to be for that round, not the amount on the map, but in that round entirely, will get decremented because that's going to be our control variable. We want it in the game state because that's replicated to all other, that can be replicated to other clients. The game mode is not. So we call zombie killed, and then we call get total zombies remaining. And from there, we check if it's equal to 0. If it's equal to 0, that means there's no more zombies on the map and the round is over. So we want to start a new round. So from there, we call increment round number on the game state. Again, because that can be, the round number can be replicated right here. So other clients know what it is. And then we simply make a timer. And that timer, all it's going to do is simply wait 5 seconds, and it's going to call our calculate zombie count function. Now this function, what it's going to do is we're going to get the round number. Remember, we already incremented it here when the round ended. Then we're going to do a calculation. We haven't done any yet to get the new amount of zombies that are supposed to be spawning. Then we set that amount inside of set total zombies remaining. So again, that just sets the total amount of zombies that are going to be there for this round. And from there, we simply unpause the spawning timer, which all it's doing is it's spawning a zombie on a random spawn point that we have laid out, such as this one, or this one. And I think that's all for zombies. And that's all it's doing. So every time it spawns a zombie, it decrements from zombies remaining, which is kind of our control variable. So zombies remaining starts out to be the same value as total zombies remaining, or the total amount of zombies on the map. So that way it kind of tracks correctly. So now that this is done out of the way, we have our basic round system. We can start expanding on it. Not entirely sure what I want to do next. I don't know if I want to start working on the widget or actually doing the calculations for the zombies, but we'll kind of see. So I will see you in the next one.